Hello and welcome everyone to Gorilla's Forex community. Today's going to be a breakdown of the pound versus the Japanese yen. This is just going to be for the private group. So I know a lot of you guys trade the pound versus the yen, and you have a lot of questions sometimes. What you can see on the monthly time frame is you can see that last month we tapped into a zone, right? So there's a really big zone on the monthly time frame here. And you can see that we tapped into that zone just ever so slightly, right? So that was the liquidity tap that we needed now to further fuel the move up. So when you're trading the pound versus the yen, now we're looking at where can price potentially go to. So on the monthly, what sticks out to me immediately is it's going to fill this gap right here. So the first level will be here. 137,580, and then the second level should be like 138,64. Big ranges to fill, really big ranges to fill. Now, if we pop down into the weekly time frame, you can see that this zone. When we was trading within this zone a few weeks ago, right? Because there's a huge wick on the weekly. When we was trading in this area, price was really choppy on the way down. It was really hard to get clean trades in GJ around this kind of time frame. Over here in those weeks when you was trying to get trades on GJ, it was really hard, and that's literally just because of this area here. But as you see, now moving on the way back up, the price action is very clean. So it makes sense that price is going to go and fill this area here, which we can potentially get into trade this week. This gap fill should happen this week. We should get to 138,600 this week. If you're looking to take entries, you got to go down to the smaller time frames and have a look what's going on. So now you can see we're starting to break structure. So we've broke this high. We've broke this kind of consolidated high. And we're making higher lows, I apologize. We're making higher lows over here, right? So what that tells me is that we've got all of the momentum from this tapping into this liquidity zone. So now we could potentially go up. So now we're starting to pull into this gap, the first gap here. We're starting to pull into this area here. So, I wouldn't take any trades now because it's the close of the London session. Price could potentially move back down during Asian. Because the yen doesn't need to be that strong compared to the pound, so it could push down a little bit for a bit of a breather. Retest this area because then resistance will be new support. Retest this area on the 4 hours and hourly time frames, and then we could potentially wait for support to be formed. Huge moves. We could potentially wait for support to be formed tomorrow on 135,200 before then taking buys. If price comes back and closes within below 135,200, you can see previously that it's a really strong resistance area. So if price comes back and rejects from 135,223, you could potentially take sales back down to this kind of level here. Back down to like 133.79. But the fundamental factors behind GJ moving up right now is just like people are going out and spending money again. In the UK, the economy is getting stimulated. I think, I don't personally think that this is going to last. I think we're going to get a really big second wave. You're getting people going out and protesting and all of that stuff. So let's just trade it all how we see it. Let's get these buys in while we can. The market moves up and down. It's our job to position ourselves correctly and take money from the market as it moves up or down. So with that being said, this is my breakdown of what I see happening tomorrow for the pound versus the yen. I'll send another update later on. I'll try and get into a bit more fundamentals when I send the update later on. But this technically is what I see. This gap fill is going to happen. It might even happen today. You might not even get the chance to enter tomorrow because the gap fill might already be done. If we look on the weekly time frame again, so we can kind of see what could potentially happen. Let's just get rid of these arrows. Just give me a sec, guys. Yeah, I mean we've got two really big gaps to get filled. We've got this gap here, right? And then we've got another gap that we're looking like we're gonna go and fill right now. It's gonna go parabolic this week. Because don't forget as well, you've got, you know, the next few weeks could be very bullish for the pound, because you've got June 14th or June 15th. The retail stores are opening, and people are going to be going out and revenge shopping. They're going to be spending a lot of money, so we could get some really nice recovery trades on the pound. Things you need to be aware of is the vaccine situation, because if we get towards the flu season with the UK, which begins September, October times, and we haven't moved any closer to getting a vaccine, then the coronavirus probably will come back and assimilate with our common flu, which will be disastrous. Yeah, because you know the research shows as well from South Korea, Japan, China. The research shows that people who recover are getting reinfected, and people who are recovering with antibodies are also getting reinfected. They don't have a natural immune system, which isn't really how viruses work. So yeah, you know, but this is what we could trade potentially. If you was feeling real risky, you could potentially get a buy-in here. Put your stop loss at 136 and get a buy in there. Because we're technically, I mean, you know, I don't know. It is a risky trade because price could fall 200 pips, 220 pips right now. If you was feeling super risky, you could even put your stop loss below this 1 hour candle here, 135 900. Risk 2 or 3% of your account, because if it actually does go up and fill that wick, you know what you're making there, you're making 10-15% of your account back. So I'll end this video so you guys can see my analysis of what I think is very likely to occur. Because it's already done a double retest of 136 and pushed away, and it's broken the high and not broken the low. So you could wait in the next 5 minutes, wait for this 30-minute candle to close, push down again, see how the price action is kind of forming, because this 4 hour candle is not going to finish here. It's going to keep going up. Anyway, thank you guys. Take care.